Dimitri from Dimitri's Travel and Tips, and today we've got something exciting starting off. I'm going to make a little mini-series based on a Couchcrash event that happened in Mexico City recently. So it's going to be kind of my first vlog style kind of videos into the channel. So I'm very excited to get it started, and I'm also very excited, guys, because thanks to you, the fans, one of my videos finally reached over 100 views. So thank you. Couldn't do these videos without fans, because otherwise why make the videos? So thank you guys so much for supporting me and the channel, and let's get started. So guys, a few notes about the Couchcrash event and what it's all about. This is part of Couchsurfing and people traveling to a certain place to kind of have this big gathering of Couchsurfers and an international community. What is the Couchcrash in Mexico City about? It's a massive local homestay event involving hundreds of like-minded travelers from around the world staying with different hosts from Mexico City, where people will be dancing, drinking, camping, and dreaming of a better life, of a better future, in a world where people can trust each other, whether you know each other or not, as well as experiencing and learning about Mexican history, heritage, and culture. So that's the grandiose explanation of it. You could also simplify it in saying it's a bunch of travelers meeting together in Mexico to meet locals and experience the country. What we're going to start off with, we're going to do just the first few days, and the next video is going to be about one of the days on the weekend, and there's going to be another video about the Sunday event, as well as kind of the rollout to the end of it on Monday and Tuesday. So, the Precrash. So there were some small gatherings on Wednesday and Thursday evenings before the true events began that were filled with socializing at different bars and going to some famous taquerias or taco restaurants, most of which were famous on Netflix, one of their shows about famous tacos in Mexico. These places were chosen and handpicked by the organizers for the event, and they were selected for their uniqueness and their popularity. Some have very interesting themes. Some of them are just really popular spots for locals. Others are places that are really fun, but you would never know it from looking at the outside. You know, you have to live there to know about it. Now, these took place on Wednesday and Thursday evenings, and only in the evenings, because, like many people, they have to work. The people who live there and are not traveling to Mexico City have to work. So, this is mainly for the foreign travelers arriving to kind of socialize, get to know each other, and familiarize themselves with Mexico City. We also were able to get really hyped for the main event here, with some drinking and some little costume things, stuff like that. So now that everybody's met, it's the weekend, we're starting off on Friday. So there were several events happening, and they were kind of at the same time, so you had to choose one, right? Whether it was city tours, forested hikes, going into the desert, or there was also a tour where you could go and learn about indigenous people and their foods. I chose the latter. So I hopped into our taxi cab of destiny, or in other words, the Couchsurfer's work vehicle that we used to follow the van because there was just too many people on the tour. And this took us to the Otomi Park. So, who are the Otomi? The Otomi are one of hundreds of indigenous populations that are endemic to Mexico, and one of whose numbers are dwindling today. They have their own culture, history, traditions, foods, and even language. Now this is not like another dialect of Spanish. This is a completely unrelated language. And we actually got a tour guide, even if just for a brief moment. And they explained these things and even demonstrated for us the local language. Unfortunately, my trigger finger wasn't quick enough to capture this on video, but it was very interesting. Not at all what I expected. Now, you'll also see some various structures and paintings, some teepee-looking buildings. These are actually the homes and ceremonial structures built by the Otomi, and each little house represents a family that is in the Otomi group. So as you can see, there's only maybe 15 or 20 families left, so they're quite a low population group, but that doesn't mean they're any less of a group compared to any other. And they're actually funded, I believe, by the Mexican government in some way to stay there and to help preserve their culture and identity. Don't quote me on that, but if I remember correctly, that is the case. So after the tour, we went and we got some food. They had some really delicious local food there, as well as taking about 1,000 photos probably. Once one person found a cool spot, everybody wanted to take a picture at the cool spot, and then they moved on to the next place, and then there was group photos, all of which you'll see here. And so after we finally finished at the Otomi Park, we started off deep into the rural mountains outside of Mexico City. And I mean, these are places that people in Mexico and Mexico City don't even really go. The roads were crazy. We had to drive so slow, there was dust flying up in the air. We passed cows, horses, wild dogs, and donkeys, some of which were wild, some were domesticated. We even saw, the very, very stereotypical image of the donkey carrying the huge pack on its back and the colorful blanket over top. It was very cool, very interesting to see. But since we were in such a rural place, very unknown area, we also ended up getting a little lost. And so we weren't discouraged at all. We got on the side of the road, and some of the organizers started looking for people to ask for directions. And we took the opportunity to drink some mezcal, which, if you're unfamiliar, is another very traditional Mexican drink. It's similar to tequila, but also not really that similar to tequila. If you guys want to know more about mezcal, let me know in the comments below, and I'll do more of a deep dive on it, alright? But anyway, we stopped and had some drinks, and then while the organizers were asking for directions, we were just relaxing. And unfortunately, if you guys have been to Mexico, you may have run into the fact that Mexican people are very kind and very polite, and so even if they don't actually know the correct directions to get someplace, they oftentimes will tell you the directions they think are correct, just to be kind of polite, you know. They don't want to say they don't know, because they know you're not from there, right? So this often leads to getting bad directions, and then we got lost again. And then we ended up at the restaurant that we thought we were trying to get to, but actually turned out to be a different one that was the same style. So basically, his restaurant is famous because you can fish. You can go fishing and catch your dinner, right? And then they'll grill it up and everything for you. At least that's what they said. Now, the truth of the matter was, you went around the back of the restaurant, and then there was a big barrel, like imagine beer or wine, one of those giant barrels. And there's a bunch of hungry fish in there. And you drop a little line in there with a hook, and it's got some worm or something on there. And then you pull it out. And then you, if you want, you can, and kill the fish yourself. But of course, if you don't want to, there's people there who'll do it for you. And so that was that. You didn't have to order fish if you didn't want to. I didn't order the fish. I got some tacos, because I am a taco monster. But yeah, it was an interesting experience. We got lots of beer. Everybody was talking, laughing, having a good time. And then finally, we went very slowly back home to our different homes, and took a very long rest because it was so hot that day. We were walking around so much, ate so much food. Plus, we had to rest up for the night out later on. There's not a lot of photos for this evening, but just trust me, guys, it was a very good time. It was kind of the kickoff for the main event and everything. And this is where I'm going to leave you today, guys. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And stay tuned for Saturday's episode of the Mexico City Couch Crash 2022. Alright, bye guys.